shine. You gotta be working to get the woman and the wine. Keep the beat and get your hands in the air. Shuffle it quick cause it's an African affair. To Buffalo Park and our home at St. George's. We're bringing the silverware back on the gorgeous. That's the way of the warrior. That's the way of the warrior. That's the way of the warrior. That's the everyday warrior.
Down, coming out of PE town. Got a drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver, get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino's shot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Center Stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday, 6:30, time for Gino's Spot. Again, relentlessly, every Tuesday, we are doing our internet television, as it were. I suppose we were just discussing this now, and I don't know of any other shows that are going, doing this regularly, or stupid enough or crazy enough to do this regularly every single Tuesday. So welcome everybody to our show, Gino Spot, where we interview people from and around PE, people that are keen to or share what they do and share their journeys, and also obviously be a bit of encouragement for everyone out there to see, like, if we can all get together and do something. It really doesn't take a lot to turn PE around and get us going in the right direction. Of course, thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to Spar and to Fitch and Leeds. And Sovereign as well. Sovereign and Fitch and Leeds are sponsoring our live concerts. Spa has been with Gino Spot right from the start as well, along with Fitch. Thank you to our sponsors for supporting us, supporting local, keeping it lekker in this area. So I think everybody out there is we were just saying that television these days is I don't watch TV anymore. Everybody sort of watches Netflix or Video Prime, Amazon Prime, or whatever it is, and so for a regular live show, I think it's a good idea to watch something like this. Subscribe on YouTube, by the way. Subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already. Subscribe on YouTube, because that is the best way to watch it, because then you can watch it in HD on your screen as well. You can just cast it if you've got one of those fancy TVs. Today we have Makaya Jack, Supersport presenter and rugby aficionado. He is involved. He's a local chap. He's been at the original KWARU, which is Warmer Township. Grew up there and has gone on to amazing things. And we're going to find out about Makaya tonight. And then you too can find out as well. I see we've had a bit of rain. Oh, Gary's just reminded me now. My own show, the 5th of January, people in Port Elizabeth, the 5th of January, and the 21st of December, at the St. Francis Links. But my first PE show is the 5th of January, so if you are in and around KWARU, come to the show at Westview Club. That is going to be, if you want to learn nothing and have a general good time and a bit of a dop with me and have a bit of a laugh, come along on the 5th of January. And or if you're in St. Francis having a nice holiday, if you got your nice, lovely spot out there and overlooking the canals for 75 million rand a day, you can come and watch my show because it doesn't cost too much. So, 21st at the Links, and that's December, just before Christmas. Just treat yourself. And then 5th of January in Port Elizabeth, and that's at the Westview Club. Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're probably ready to get right straight into our guest tonight. We're not going to dilly-dally around. And we have a special guest tonight, like I said, Makaya Jack, and of course, Fires. Fires is in the background here. He's also going to put in a couple of chirps as well, so he can join us in the studio. We've got a threesome in the studio tonight. And of course, this all comes with the connection that we made through Gavin Cowley. Gavin's been a great help to the show as well. Thanks, Gav. Getting together the sports people along with Fires, getting some amazing sports stars onto the show, and tonight is no exception. So let's get this thing off the road.
Ooh, welcome to the show. Now it's your time to shine. We're gonna have a like a chat tonight. Another good time.
And we're in. That's how we do it. Okay, lovely to have you in the studio. And Fires, always a pleasure. Always good to see you. There are many people in this world that have got as much energy as Fires. If you want to get something done, if you want to get something happening, you need Fires to phone you every day, 3 times a day. Listen, I've got this. We're gonna.
Well, it's like you said earlier. I mean, thankfully Gavin has helped us here. And Gavin phoned and said, "I've got a wonderful guest for you in Makaya." And it's actually nice to see you playing hooker tonight.
Tight, we're in.
This Lucette, I don't trust this Lucette. I don't trust it. But it's my pleasure to be here, guys.
Oh, fantastic!
Lovely to have you.
Yeah, and I mean, a warmer township. That's you grew up there. That's amazing. Right? Just a stone's throw from here. And I mean, always the original Gqeberha. Eh?
It's nice. I grew up. I'm born and bred there.
Yeah,
born and bred.
Born as well.
And that's where I sucked the rugby from. I sucked rugby there.
Yeah.
From my mother's breast, perhaps.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful to grow up in Woma.
Yeah.
Township those days because it was infested with sport, any kind of sport. But rugby was top.
Wow.
Rugby, cricket, athletics, cycling, bodybuilding.
Where did
golf.
you train? Where did you train? Where did you practice in those days?
We practiced in the rugby field. Yeah, there's a rugby field in the heart of Woma Township.
Okay, right in the middle.
And the heart of not this one that you see. It's a new one.
The new one there. I see the new one there.
And Maggie, the origins of your name?
Origin of my name, it's quite fanatic stuff where it started. My dad, may his soul rest in peace. And it was during the Australian cricket tour coming to South Africa.
Yeah.
And I think he loved a guy called Slash McKay. He was an all-rounder then. And
Slash Mackay. So he says Ken.
Slasher, Ken Makaya.
Ken Slasher Mackay.
57 Aussies.
Yeah.
Now, and my dad named me after him. But unfortunately, I guess there was a miscommunication between my dad and my mom. My dad said Slash McKay because of the guy. My dad he was a sports fanatic as well.
Okay.
He did a lot of sport.
Yes.
So I guess my mom thought my dad is saying I'm Makaya. He gave me a sealed envelope to go to Home Office without knowing what was written in there. There came the name Makaya. And my dad was angry. Eh?
Oh, really?
He was very angry.
But
it's nice. And my uncle, my brother's little brother, my father's little brother, pardon me, he used to call me McKay.
Is that okay? Okay.
McKay or Cakes Us. That's how he affectionately called me. Cakes Us. Cakes Us. And and he always told me that, you see here, you are different from the family. well, you should be called Sir. Sir. So he always say McKay, Sir McKay. And one day, I think it was my 20th anniversary with my wife.
Yeah.
And my wife wanted to say, listen here, you should be different to the rest.
Yeah.
There are a lot of misters around in the family.
Okay.
And he united me with some other family members to say I'm Sir Jack.
Sir Jack.
So when you talk about the Kustas, Jack, Kustas
Yes,
are
Kusta, yes,
they
yes.
are misters. Every Jack you see, every Jack you meet is a mister.
Is it Mumzana?
Yeah. And I am Sir.
Sir, that's Sir. So it's Mr. Kusta Jack, but it's Sir Makaya Jack.
That's right.
And Makaya, growing up in the Warmer Township, did you have role models that you followed? I mean, to develop that interest in rugby?
You see, as I've said, I was a soccer player myself.
Yeah, okay.
I was a soccer player
Start
myself.
with soccer.
I started, and I was an athlete myself. I was doing 400 meters. I did take chance in 200, and golf, but I didn't play it so much because I didn't see myself walking the whole day in the bushes. It was very boring, very boring.
In the bush.
And so there were guys, strong guys. In fact, from my family, because the clan is extended from my grandma's side, the first black African Springbok center, devastating center, Kelman Nokoli.
Okay.
First black in the 50s.
Wow.
So I think I followed that trend.
Was he from Port Elizabeth?
Yes, born and bred here in Woma.
Woma
Born
as
and
well.
bred, yeah. That's a big family. Nokoli is a big family here in Woma.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that Isiduko?
Yes.
Okay, Nokoli.
No, Nokoli is also a surname.
Oh, so what's the
He's-
what is the Isiduko that you're talking about? The clan?
Yes, the clan is Tues. The relationship, my grandma, my father's mom.
It's a maternal one.
Yes, it's maternal. It's Gelman. Gelman was my grandma's brother
Oh wow.
from
Okay.
my
Your
mother's
mother's side. Okay, wow. So it was family.
Yes,
So the genes, maybe the genes were coming down there.
probably.
Your grandmother.
And remember, there was no high school in Woma those days.
Yes.
There was no high school. It was a higher primary, and but rugby was very strong.
Okay.
Strong, not just strong. Fire, what was strong, and they were strong. They were.
That's incredible because I would never have
Amazing
thought at that time. You know, I mean, what were the sports that, like as a boy growing up in Warman Township then? You know, golf was that at the Warman Country Club?
Woma Country Club.
Yeah.
And what do you call this one?
Little Warmer.
This Woma, yes.
Yeah,
And
Little Warmer.
remember, we would easily be a caddy those days. And you get promoted from being a caddy
Yes.
to a golfer. You know, and I didn't subscribe too much to golf because remember, I coming from a very church background, so
Church as well.
so
Not Catholic.
no, I'm Methodist.
Oh, Methodist. Okay.
So you would remember that if you are a kid, if you are a golfer, it's either Saturday or Sunday you are the golf. So, so my chances were very limited to be a
because
golfer. And also, I was not so passionate because it was an effort going for the whole day, going around the bushes and trees.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, so I found it's not my thing. But cricket, yes. But the reason I stopped playing cricket, one of my friends that were growing up in Woma, we used to play in areas.
Yeah.
A cricket ball hit him here. By the time we went to go and look for him, the eye was like this.
Oh.
And I said, no, I can't go for
I
it.
can go cricket now.
I went for soccer, but it's strange how I played soccer too.
Yeah.
Remember, as I've said, that there were no high schools in Woma, so you had to go. Many of us would go to New Brighton, Kwazakele, Zwide. But many of us, generally in PE, would go to the Greater East Siskai schools there. Yes. That's why rugby was vibrant then.
Yes, I want to ask you, if there was no high school, where did you do your high schooling? So would that have been in the Siskai?
Yes, in football foot.
Football.
So you go almost as to a boarding school?
Yes. And
She was.
so as first years, as newcomers,
Yeah.
You know the clash between the newcomers and the old comers.
Yeah.
And I guess we were more talented than them because there was a game called Freshers and Stalers game,
Yeah.
first game.
Yeah.
So we beat them.
Okay.
And the old boys were angry and they started to have funny stuff about us. So come the rugby season, they would not select us.
Yes.
So I had a friend from Joburg then, and he said, because we were sideline in rugby, he introduced soccer. And that's how I started playing soccer.
Soccer there, okay.
Coming back on holidays at home,
Sure.
I played soccer, but
Yeah.
what made me not to go ahead with soccer, I was a striker. I was a striker.
Yeah.
I would stand there waiting for the ball, and I could see I had pace those days. I had pace, and I could see I can outrun these guys.
Yeah.
But the midfielders would not feed me with the ball.
Yeah.
So when I go and fetch the ball comes this way. So I can't do this way. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do this.
Yes.
And, so I opted to go back to rugby, and the rest is history.
Yes. And then tell me, so after the Cisco, you came back to Port Elizabeth,
Yes,
and then you got involved at Warmer Wales.
yes. That remember those days. Rugby was a family thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
You would not play for a different club if your uncle, your what, even your brother-in-law. So it was a family thing.
Yeah.
And what sort of year are you talking about now when you came back from the Cisco?
That was 77.
77.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, please don't feel alone. I've often sat here and sweated at night. So use the towel.
Yeah.
No, geez,
No, no, in the lights.
We're
We're in the
on, the
lights
sweat
here
was
as well.
running. I remember Carl Baumeister sitting here one night.
So
Yeah.
I still continued playing soccer, and
Yeah.
but I had to make a choice between the two codes.
Yes.
Rugby or soccer.
Yeah.
And I felt rugby. I had a very soft spot for rugby,
Yeah, sure.
and
Yeah.
so I continued my rugby.
What was it? I mean, I'm younger slightly younger generation. But
You are, yes.
what was the rugby scene like then? It was obviously it was apartheid. It was on here, so there's black teams, white teams. What was the story? How did it work?
Yeah, it was exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. So let's try to separate.
It was difficult for me to sit between you two.
Yeah,
Those days it was a serious stuff. But I must emphasize rugby. There was also a vehicle. It was a vehicle to capacitate people politically. You know,
Yes.
and a lot of things were done through rugby, through cricket,
And sport,
through,
soccer, everything. Yeah.
So, but rugby was number one sport that was leading the liberation in those days.
No, absolutely. And I just want to ask you another question. So you came back from the Cisco, you say in the early 70s.
Yes.
I learned something doing some research on Makaya now that I never knew. As I started going into this, I mean, there's an incredibly rich history about black rugby. Number one, it started in 1878 at St Andrews College.
Wow. Okay.
Never knew that, didn't have a clue that it occurred. Then you fast forward into the 70s, it was either an England side or a proper England side, as in England, or an English side who played in the township in 1972.
Wow.
Do you remember that? I think they played at the Dan Quekwe Stadium.
No, they played at Wolfson Stadium.
Was it at the Wolfson Stadium?
Okay.
Yes, there was. But remember those days we were also divided. They never played against us.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Even us as Africans, we were divided. You know, there were those guys who were pro SARB. That is the Danny Craven side.
Yes.
We broke away and we were called KwaZulu Rugby Union. That was KWARU.
Yes.
KWARU,
Okay.
okay.
Dan Quekwe.
Yes.
Bas Dan.
Okay. So KWARU was the
KWARU was the creme de la creme.
okay.
Yes.
Was the cream.
Proper place.
Had the English or the British Lions played against KWARU, I think they would have got a stiff competition.
Yes.
Because they were the best. As you are answering the question, Like Peter Mkata was one of the
We
greatest
spoke
guys.
about him earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was one of my role models, and
Now,
and
where did he come from?
born and bred in Woma.
In Warmer as well.
Was it?
Yes.
Yo.
And yes, that's why I played fullback at school,
Yeah.
and for strange reasons, I
Yeah.
changed. I played flyer for the longest time.
Yes.
Well, fullback and fly off. I think there's similarities there. They're both kickers.
But
You
but
know,
with us Africans, it's not. If you are a flyer, if you don't play any other position, you play flyer.
Is that the way it goes?
Like if you see Mani Libok,
Yes.
Yeah.
if you take Mani Libok out of flyer, where are you going to play him?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good point.
So,
I don't know.
so there was those such things to us.
Okay.
There were guys who would be called utility, but there were guys in positions that you would say this one is strictly a 12, strictly
Yes.
a 12.
Okay, yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
I played for them a longest time at Flyer, and one of the greatest coaches we've ever produced here in PE, called Sipho Nozeu. May his soul rest in peace.
Yeah.
He got his flying colours of coaching in Wales. So I guess he's the first African coach to go to Wales
To go overseas, eh?
to go for during apartheid time when he came
In
back.
the 70s.
Wow. So he went over.
Gee, there's so much we don't know.
And so he was a KWARU coach then. So he would visit all the rugby clubs around PE, all
Yes.
those that were subscribing to KWARU. And so he came to me one day to
Well,
tell
interestingly enough, and just for what it's worth, prior to the show, we were actually having a chat about great flower halves. We were talking about Gavin Cowley, Robbie Blair,
Yeah. Gerald Bosch.
Gerald Bosch, Nas Botha, who
Yeah.
was after them, and Makaya actually mentioned Peter Mkata. And I mean, I remember that name and reading about how good he was.
good is an understatement.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is an understatement.
Yeah.
One of the best flyers I've ever seen.
And with your experience now, I mean, what you've learned over the years in rugby, had he had an equal chance, do you think he might have played for South Africa?
Equal. Yes, he would work very easy.
Yes, it
To a Springbok jersey. He was a guy.
Great to hear this, Makaya.
He was a guy you would never have to relax if he hasn't done anything until the final whistle blows.
Yes.
Then you can relax. But
Okay.
he was a guy who would do things out of his own.
Yeah.
He would jump over the scrum.
Yeah.
Sanders, a guy would get a ball reversing, receiving a ball, and then goes forward.
Yes.
And he does the thing. To us, we never had a sender. It was an insult to us to have a sender to go and bash.
Yeah.
No, senders. To us, senders were playing with their shoulders, playing with their feet.
Yeah.
Beat your man on man, and this thing too. That's how we knew senders.
Yes.
And today's rugby, then you have to go and bash and.
No, it's interesting. I mean, I can remember often reading in the Herald about Peter Mkata. They used to have a segment or a page or two devoted to rugby in the townships, and you'd always read about this Peter.
Remember,
Mkata.
he was a professional golfer too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he
Yes,
was a
quite
professional
correct, in
golfer.
fact. Quite correct.
Well, going from Warmer, he would have.
He was a great golfer as well. But rugby chap, I must say, well, it was Phil Bennett.
Was he in that type of player?
Cheapest. Cheapest.
And Mackie, just as a matter of interest, at that time, obviously there was this division. Who else from that era could have been or would have been a Springbok had there been an equal opportunity?
We had a great center here in Woma too, called Donga Singata. Woma produced a lot of stars. As I've told you, one of the greatest stars, the first African black Springbok was Gelman Nokoli.
Yes.
One of the best. Best.
Yeah.
One of the best.
Sad, sad when you hear this.
Yeah, because I mean, if things had changed right then or really or before, you know, we could have been so much further down the line now.
Absolutely.
And so much talent has been sort of it's never wasted in terms of well, public consumption. We could have been, these guys could have been heroes all over, you know.
Well, had they had an equal opportunity,
I'm
you
actually-
wonder how many people went down the rabbit hole because they didn't have an equal opportunity.
I'm also wondering who is taking stock of this history, and I wonder if you shouldn't write a book.
Good point.
There were people who attempted to write about the African Black history.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know, I think others are doing it for money purposes,
Yeah,
not
sure.
being genuine
Yeah,
and
sure.
giving a proper feedback about what happened about yesteryear's rugby. For
Yes.
an example, during Gelman Okoli's time, before Peter Mkata became a fly-half,
Yes.
there's a guy called Eric Majola.
Is he related to the Majola, the cricket Majolas?
Yes,
Okay.
it's Gerald's father.
Okay.
He was the ace fly-half. I think Peter was just at the heels of Eric Majola. He had great centers all round, chap.
Yeah.
Great wings, rugby. It's a pity. I'm not sure today. To me, this is not the rugby. What we see today. It's not
Yeah.
rugby. No, it's not rugby.
Kicking
Kicking a rugby ball. We were not taught to kick a rugby ball because we say you kick. There must be a purpose of kicking a rugby
sure.
ball. There must
the
be
way
a reason for you to kick that rugby. There must be a type of a kick that you must kick. There must be an area where you kick that ball. There must be always a reason for kicking that ball. If you kick a rugby ball, and like I've noticed, this youngster, I was watching this, was it Saturday, Sunday, kicking. There's this phenomenon today. It's I don't know whether it's a habit. The scrum halves kicking from the base of the scrum without knowing where the ball is going. They kick it where, you know. To us, you say, the basics to us when we grew up.
Yeah.
You must preserve the rugby ball. Keep it.
Yeah.
If you keep the rugby ball, you are in control.
Yes,
You've got a steering wheel. If you've got
Don't
a
give it
rugby ball.
away, yeah.
You've got a man next to you. You've got a nice to wear this. You've got two guys.
Yeah.
If you don't know what to do with a rugby ball, you must give it to the next man.
Well, listen, don't bank on me or him.
Listen, there's a couple of comments there. Let's have a quick squiz here. Gavin's online. How's it, Gavin? These guys would have also been in contention for the Springbok team. So
Sorby.
Yeah, now was one of the greatest wings.
Tito is a
And
Tito.
Morgan Kusha. I remember
T.O.
Morgan Kusha.
Tio, Tsotsobe, Charles Magweba,
Weber, yes,
and
Morgan Kusha. One of the devastating flank forwards, eh? Morgan Kusha. Yes.
Didn't he actually play in a game against the Lions of the 76?
He did.
Blacks?
He did. He was a nerve. In fact, he was a nuisance. Morgan was a nerve.
In fact, I think Gavin might have been involved in the game with him. I seem to vaguely remember that. But
Dr. Tsotsobe was one I was lucky. I played with him. I played against him because ultimately, when I left Wales, I joined Spring Rose in New Brighton.
Okay. Oh, wow.
And Toto also was playing for
Toto.
Toto Tsotsobe, T.O.
Okay, yeah, Tsotsobe.
that's
Let's have a look
not
at
Sorby, sorry. Is that Lon Wabo's father?
Yes.
Oh, it's
Yes.
Lonwawa
Where
Tsotsobe's
is Lopsy?
father.
Lopsy is around.
In
and,
PE?
yes. Do you know that Toto's only girl, Nomsebenzi?
Yeah.
She was the first Springbok captain, women's Springbok
Quite
captain.
correct. Lopsy's
No
sister.
way.
Yeah, she's also a commentator.
Lopsy's sister. That's right.
Wow.
Lopsy's sister.
Gavin says these guys would have been contention. I see. There's another one. Ruben. There's Ruben also with the thing. Mr. Jack played some great rugby at the Adcock Stadium. Adcock Stadium.
Yes.
The days that he played Teresa. What is it? It's
I can
Teresa.
see Jack. I don't know.
The, it says here, ask him about the days he played. There's a. Oh, there. I see. It's just.
Remember our
At
rugby,
Adcock.
at rugby turfs. There were 2 rugby turfs in PE those
Okay.
days.
Yeah.
Those days. It's either Adcock or Denkerke.
Okay.
And and it was always that tug of war between the then EP Rabbit Adcock, the so-called colours,
Okay.
and us at Denkerke Stadium.
Yeah.
So it was a derby.
So
Yo,
let me ask
so
you
that
a
was
question then. So, and excuse me for asking it in this manner, but Are you saying that the blacks played against the colours?
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
So
And
it was all
Muslims.
separated. It was all separated into those
Yeah.
three.
Because remember,
3 or 4 things.
there were-
Crazy. It's just crazy.
There were most of the clubs from Western Cape and Cape Town are Muslims. We
That's
played
right,
against
yes.
them too.
Yes.
And when KWARU was formed in 1970, coming to joining the then SARU,
Yes.
our SARU, yeah,
It's a rugby union.
yes. First year we went to the final. We played against Western Province, and first year. That's how I'm trying to illustrate that's how good the guys were. those
Yeah,
days.
yeah.
Yes.
Because first time going to this side, first time going to a strong competition, they managed to reach the final. First season.
You know, I just want to make a point here, if I may. What really saddens me is I'm learning something here now.
Yeah.
But the sad thing is, had things been normal,
Yeah.
imagine how many great players would have come from
Absolutely.
the townships.
And I
Look
mean,
at today. We've got a brace of black players who every single one deserves their place.
yeah.
And there are many more out there.
But this whole, I mean, it's the whole point is that it was such a strange society at the time, and if it changed then already, sport could have brought this whole thing together so much quicker.
Correct.
I mean, it's just
Quite
wasted.
correct.
It's wasted years, you know.
And as Becky said earlier, rugby was a great vehicle for this.
Yeah.
I think it's also of no use crying over the spilt milk now.
Yeah.
And
Well said.
yes, it's energy and time and talent that has gone down the drain.
Yeah.
And
But also-
it's regrettable.
What made you leave Warmer Wales?
Well, would you tell us about Warmer Wales first before you even get there? What is Warmer?
Warmer Wales,
Yeah.
Warmer Wales it's a club that was established in 1926,
Yo.
and by Warmer Township was a farm, was a dairy farm.
Yes. Okay.
Was it
Is that
there?
Welbedacht?
Yeah, what was a dairy
I
farm.
think Velbeduct was more 3rd Avenue.
I thought Welbedacht was also up there.
So
See how much we learned
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
Warmer Township was a dairy farm.
Yeah.
and the farmers there organized themselves
Yes.
to have a rugby team.
Okay.
I just forgot the name they called themselves. It just slipped the name they called themselves. But in 1928, Warmer Wales was officially formed
Okay.
after the arrival of the Prince of Wales,
Okay.
Oh wow! So it's Wales like Wales.
and that's why we call when Wales was Wales. Then we used to call ourselves Wales of London because we didn't associate myself with South Africa. Then
Correct.
remember,
Correct.
and we chose the colors were royal blue and yellow,
Okay.
and
I remember that.
Royal blue and yellow. Is that the one? Eh?
yeah.
And I mean, it's also ironic then that the first player or first coach of colour to go overseas would have been to Wales. As well.
No, he was not. He was not Warmer Wales coach. He was KWARU coach.
Oh, KWARU.
Yeah, he was
Okay,
KWARU
okay.
coach there. Yeah.
All right. So it started in 928. It's a centenary then.
Now
coming
I
up.
am going to organize that
Is
seminar,
it?
yes, and with your assistance, I'm going to organize
Hey.
the synod
Yeah,
because I feel I must get jealous about our history, and I feel I need to honor the greats of Warmer Wales and Wallabies. By the way, there was a split in 1954
Oh yeah.
when Wallabies was formed.
Warmer
Okay,
Wallabies.
Wallabies.
Warmer Wallabies,
I
yeah.
remember the name Warmer Wallabies.
Yeah, that's the club that Valence Watson played for.
Well, I was going to say to you, I
The
can
Watson
remember
brother.
it could have been 1979, 1976, 77, somewhere around that era. Driving up Buffelsfontein Road to the Warmer
That's
Country
Warmer.
Club
That's
and-
Wallabies ground. That's Wallabies
Okay.
ground.
The
If you go up,
Yeah.
the Buffelsfontein Road.
Yes,
Yes.
just on the left here, as
Yes,
you're going up.
yes,
There were 10,000 people there. I remember reading the article the next day. The traffic was blocked,
Yes.
and we actually stopped and watched the game. Cheeky was playing for KWARU. As you
Yeah.
say, Valence was playing there.
Cheeky was playing for Spring Rose. And
Spring Rose.
Spring Rose,
I beg your pardon.
Was that in
New Brighton?
New Brighton? Okay.
And Valence was playing for Wallabies.
And I seem to recall
You played that game?
Gavin was
Mark
playing for Saint Cyprian's. Ronnie was playing for Fabs. Yeah, so they split it. They played
Okay.
different clubs. Yeah. I had a privilege of playing with and against them.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And was there not a guy called Mark Ryan who was involved?
Yeah, Mike Ryan. Yeah, very big
Yes,
big fella.
lovely guy.
Big fella. A big fella. Yeah, a big fella. Mike Ryan playing lock. Yeah.
All right.
That's right. But I remember Gino. sorry.
Danny or Don played rugby for Spring Rose as well? Danny or Don?
No,
Soccer.
no. He played. No, he came over cricket.
Oh.
Cricket.
Oh, cricket. Okay.
Cricket.
Okay.
That's what brought him that side. It was cricket that brought him on side.
Okay.
But remember, you would play cricket, you would play soccer, you would play rugby, you would play all kind of sports because remember there should be messages and strategies to cement ways of galvanizing and mobilizing communities.
Yes.
To throw the government.
Yeah.
You need to go to athletics. You need to go to soccer.
Yes.
As many people together as
To
you can.
mobilize people. Yes.
Yeah.
And the likes of Johnny Dodan would come over and play cricket, soccer.
Yes.
You know.
Okay.
Yes.
Jeez, what an interesting chat this is.
Yeah, I just see Anthony's sending a message. Great to see you guys tonight. Gino, best salutes to Makaya and Fires once again the show. Merry festive greetings
Hello,
from
Anthony.
Palma de Mallorca, Spain. He's watching from Spain tonight.
Wow.
How cool is that? Anthony, you bastard. Damn you, Anthony. We also want to be out in the sun. It's raining here now.
No, it's not raining. Come on. It's
It's
just
raining now, yeah.
no,
And sadly-
it's just drizzling.
It's just had a
That's
bit of
the
a
end of the
shower
cricket, I
now.
assume, eh?
Is there no cricket game tonight?
No, India playing South Africa.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's the end of it.
India plays South Africa, so they're bringing out the covers, no doubt. I
No
don't know.
doubt. The southerly wind has brought the rain yet again in the sun.
Yeah.
What was nice about us
Yeah.
as black Africans, we would follow any kind of sport.
Yeah.
We would follow the white sport.
Yes.
I know this man was a cricketer
Yeah.
during his time. as
For
well.
sure.
And we used to follow the white cricket, white rugby.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate that they never followed us, and they were
Yeah.
privileged. They were televised.
Yeah, of
we were
course.
not
Yeah,
televised.
of course.
Actually, I'll say this again, and I don't want to sound like a stuck record, but it actually saddens me. I mean, I would love to have seen Peter McCarter play,
Wow.
Yeah.
as an
Check.
example.
Yeah.
Do you know when a teacher make a signature of a VG, very good.
Yeah.
That meant that's what he used to do in the field.
Yes.
Isle.
Yeah.
That's what he used to do. We had great rugby players. Great rugby players. And
The best team that you were involved with, what would you say in your career?
in 1987,
Yeah.
1987,
Were you still playing then?
yes,
Okay.
in the Saru side,
Okay.
as a team, as a squad
Yeah.
of our then Saru,
Yeah.
we were adamant that we want to prove who's who in the zoo. We wanted to challenge the 1980s, the Springbok side in 1987.
Yeah.
And the powers that be would not come together because as players we wanted to prove ourselves.
But did you make representation to the government or to the board about having a game of that nature?
No, I'm talking, when I say powers, I'm talking about the rugby administrators.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there was a misunderstanding because in fact, as players, we wanted to prove. There were guys called here, there's maybe his soul rest in peace, Desmond Kramer, one of the
Yeah,
best
he
wingers.
passed away the other day.
Yeah. There's Desmond Boyson. Jeepers, bro.
Yeah.
There's Evan October. Those my goodness, I can go on and on and on and on. And on.
I see another
Randy Amarinos from Poland, very hard guy.
Yeah.
Jeepers.
And Mackie, just another question, and I don't want to fast forward this thing. You were honoured with Springbok colours after readmission.
We were, I'm not sure if we were honored colors where we were given Springbok blazers.
Okay.
Were you?
Yes.
I'm glad to hear that.
That's
At least.
good.
And how did you feel about that? I mean,
I'm going to be brutal honest.
Yeah.
please, yeah.
I never sweat for that blazer.
Yeah.
The blazer that I sweat for, it's
Yeah.
a Saru blazer that
Yes.
I played for.
Yes.
I sweat and where people cheered for me, where people appreciated me, people who from rural areas, people from Dungeon,
Yes.
who would fill the Denkoko Stadium.
Yeah.
Those, that's the green and gold that
Yeah.
I've got nothing against
Yeah.
I've got nothing against the strategy of trying to reconcile me with today's rugby.
Sure.
I accepted the offer of accepting the blazer.
Sure.
Then, but to me, my more pride, pride
Was the one you sweated for.
Yeah.
the one I sweated for.
But that makes completely get that. I mean, that's it's what you cared about. then
Maybe
and the-
if I had an opportunity of playing against Rob Lowe, maybe
yeah.
if I had that opportunity,
Rob Lowe.
because he was one of the guys that I respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way because Rob Lowe was not playing like the Whiteys played. He played similar rugby to us as Africans.
You were the flanker as well.
Yep.
Yeah, because I played golf with Robbie. He's a lovely guy.
He's a very nice guy. Very nice. I had an opportunity of playing with him during the when was it 2001 going to Bermuda, the Legends.
Oh, right.
yeah.
Okay.
A very nice guy. He used to call me, hey, because I had an afro then. Hey, Don King. He used to call me Don King. Don King. I must take my head off. One of the flankers that I respect during those days from the white side. Brilliant rugby player.
Yeah. It would have been lovely to have seen a game, a proper game of that.
Absolutely.
But, imagine if we'd been able to link them together and
Sure.
play the world like that.
But I must say, there was a guy that used to impress me. He always came after me. Bobby Skinstead.
Very impressive. Very
My
impressive.
goodness.
Yep.
My goodness.
That you're
My goodness. I love watching that guy play. rugby.
He played lovely rugby.
Yeah.
But now, what I wanted to ask you now as well, so you've left school, your rugby career has carried on, you've carried on playing in an amateur environment.
Yep.
What were you doing from a work perspective?
Hey, there were a lot of things. You must remember that if you're organized, a certain club will recruit you to play for it. You know.
Yes.
okay.
So it will be an opportunity from this and company to that company to that company to that company until you feel comfortable.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I worked for a municipality for 27 years. So I was comfortable.
Wow.
I was recruited because by the guy who played for Spring Rose. So it made my life easy training Spring Rose as well.
And then, when did you hang up the boots?
I hung my boots. In 1991.
32 years ago.
And it was because I underwent an op. I had an LCA. I torn my ligament, and I felt because I've never had an injury playing rugby, and I felt it's just as I've said to you, psychological, you know.
Yeah.
And doctors then they were not as they were not so immaculate as doctors today's
You
doctors.
bite on this piece of leather and
Because today you'll find a doctor doing him an operation, a knee operation. Will tell him this is a 3 months operation, and 3 months rehabilitation. You can go back and play again.
Yes.
During our time, it was not like that.
no, we're going to take the leg off. Sorry about that.
And then after you retired in 91, did you carry on with the municipality but stay in rugby?
Yes, I did. I did. I was involved in the coaching environment with a guy called Lucky Mange, and one of the best front ringers I've ever played with. Tough O, and he took very tough. He took Spring Rose. I think he took Spring Rose from this level to that level.
Yeah.
Solly Kimliga is coming from Turin.
Yes, I know.
Solly Kimliga.
Yes.
Sticks, the assistant coach of Rasina, come from his ends, and there are a lot of guys that came out of his ends. He coached a lot of guys, brilliant coach, and I was involved with him, assisting me, analyzing rugby during the time.
Yes.
And when I was approached by the guys from Woma Wales, that was 2012. I wanted, in fact, before Woma Wales, because remember, whenever I come from Joburg, I land here in Woma to go and see my parents.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I go past the high school here, I'll see there are two fields. The other one is rugby, the other one is
correct,
soccer.
correct.
But strange thing is, both fields, there's soccer being played on.
Yeah.
And I was very jealous.
Yeah, yeah.
I must say I was very jealous. So I approached the principal, and I asked what's happening, because whenever I see it come here, there's a rugby field, but it's filled with soccer. What's going on?
Yeah.
You guys are playing. Is there no rugby here? So
Good question. Is there no rugby there?
before he could answer me, I rallied around and I collected guys. We went to Woma. We introduced ourselves. We're going to introduce rugby. That was
And this is back in 2012, eh?
2012.
Is that Vuuren Commander? I
Yes,
think. Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
No, but it's called Woma High School.
Former high school now. Yeah.
So I coached there, and I started.
Okay.
Woma High School got the recognition. I coached them for 2 seasons, and they were playing well.
Yeah.
Was coaching there, and the Woma Wales boys came to ask me if I cannot assist
Okay,
them.
there as well.
So
Okay.
coach Woma Wales as well.
And
But it's difficult these days.
Yeah.
Damn difficult.
What makes it difficult?
It's difficult. Number one is the resources.
Yeah.
And when I say resources, I mean resources in all forms.
Yeah.
Human resource,
Yeah.
logistics,
Yes.
Yeah,
funding,
getting the guys
Funding.
here to
funding,
the games.
you know.
You need a card, you need a bus, you need a guy.
And you must remember also the players, today's players, because they must get something out of what they are doing. Unlike us, we were playing for the pleasure,
Yeah.
you know. And today's rugby players, a guy passes standard 10 is not working. So you cannot just recruit him and play rugby, and
It's gotta work.
You can't give him some. So it's a difficult situation these days.
A
You know?
bit of funding.
Well, maybe if there's anybody out there, we can, and this is going to be online as well. You know that wants to help. Let's get hold of us. Get hold of Makaya, and we'll try and make a plan.
You made a very interesting comment earlier. We were having a discussion. I beg your pardon.
We got
sorry.
Ruben's just saying the great legend Mr. Jack saw him live at the Adcock Stadium's EP versus KWARU. He saw you live.
There you go.
During those days, it was rugby proper.
I see Mpo Tlaka there saying, how's it as well? Mpo, nice to see you as well. Love the conversation here.
Is that our man that you spoke to earlier?
Yeah.
Hello, my man.
He's at Fitch and Leeds. I see him every now and again. And he's a legend.
We are busy hatching a plan with my nephew Mpo.
Okay.
We're busy because we're trying to revive sport general and
In the Woma Township?
yes, strictly Woma.
Yeah, it's a wonderful idea.
I'm very passionate about Woma. It's my town, and it's very bad when I hear bad stories about Woma, like about one that I told you that the guys shot an initiate. I mean, that's an insult. I mean, an initiate, first and foremost, he's naked, you know?
Yeah.
He's defenseless.
Yeah.
But he was shot. And that pained me, you know. I even asked from the guys in the group, is this true? They said that it's very true. That's not the Woma I grew up from.
But let me ask you this, and excuse my ignorance, why did they shoot the 2 initiates?
Yeah.
Was there a vendetta prior to them going to the bush? Or
It's a good question.
Yeah, no, look, I mean...
Good question and right question at the right time, but to a wrong guy.
Another sad thing, you speak about Woma. We, through our children, became very friendly with Siyanda Mangaliso.
Yes, I know that for years.
I mean, what a terrible story that is.
Yeah.
He was an Uber driver,
Oh, yes, I saw that.
fantastic rugby player, Captain Gray.
Yes,
Okay.
I know him. I recruited him. When I started Woma was there, I recruited him.
So
Shot
it's also
dead
Woma...
and found lying in 3rd Avenue, Newton Park.
Yeah, no.
You know,
I mean,
with
look,
no rhyme or reason.
the crime is hectic and it's a general problem. You know, it's nothing we can do. We can only try and vote the right way, get the things going, and get things happening. You know?
I think if you can balance our laws with the attitudes of people.
Yeah,
I think you can't say a guy who has murdered.
Yeah.
You can't say a guy who has murdered must be given an opportunity to go to jail, to rehabilitate, to say he must learn there, he must further his studies.
Yeah.
He must toy if he wants to, because he has rights. You can't.
Yeah.
He's a different human being.
Yeah.
For every noun there's an adjective.
Yeah.
What kind of a man that is in jail? He's a criminal.
Sure.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
What kind of a man that is outside of me? He's a law-abiding citizen.
Yeah.
So you can't give a man who has murdered, who has raped, who has robbed. You can't give him privilege and still maintain that he has equal rights. It's not until we change the laws of this country.
Sure.
Well, it's like look. I think in our case, it's to try and turn PE the minds of people in NMB.
The only
around,
thing,
you know.
the only thing that can change PE now. That's my personal perception.
Yeah.
All the guys I know, we've got business people, we've
Yeah.
got professors that left PE, born and bred,
Yeah.
until they come back.
Yeah.
Because all what we want here, we want to make PE vibrant as it used to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
Give people jobs to work. What makes people to get tempted in crime
Yes.
is because they are idle.
Poverty.
100%.
You know,
Yeah.
and the more you become idle, the better for the devil to
Yeah.
to
With
recruit you.
your hands. Yeah. That's it.
Man, devil's playground.
You're
So
right,
I'm saying the only thing that can change, like I'm talking about the Gavans, as you have just spoken,
Yeah.
Cowleys. If Cowley can come back
Yeah.
and have lots of Cowleys,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great marketing man.
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All the guys who
Skills.
left, who migrated to other countries, to other cities, if they can come back, because P is a beautiful place. It's beautiful.
it is.
It's a beautiful city.
Yes.
So P is I still maintain
And
P is a
there's so
beautiful.
much potential here. Always, I always say that. I know. I'm like stuck.
Gav, I'm making a special appeal now. Come home, come home, come home,
Come home, Gavin.
come home.
No, look, I mean, I don't think there's anybody that really doesn't want to. You know, I think the opportunities here need to be also created. The government needs to get the stuff right. The tax breaks that these companies can get by coming back here. You know, there's stuff we can do like that can bring them back. And you know, we were talking earlier before the show as well about the fact that government politics can do what they like, blah, 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 blah. But as soon as industry talks and as soon as the private sector talks with money, then all of a sudden these things get shortcut.
No, they can be circumvented very easy.
Yeah.
Remember, why people are getting involved in this stuff? It's because their stomachs are
Yeah.
empty.
Yeah.
And they are idle.
Yeah.
Now,
Correct.
now, two things. It's either I think it gives satisfaction to his idleness, you know, because nobody wants to go a family man to go and wants to toy. No, it's not.
Yeah.
But because he has nothing to do,
Yeah.
let me go and give satisfaction to
Yeah.
this, you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying I'm appealing to all the PE guys, even those that are overseas.
Yeah.
I'm appealing to come back home and let's reconstruct the distracted walls of Jerusalem.
You
There
know,
we go.
just to
Like that.
expand on what you're saying here, and I know it was a white-dominated era,
Yeah.
and we were the privileged few, I would imagine, as we spoke before the show. But I can remember in the early to mid-80s, Ford closed down.
Yeah.
Yes.
And suddenly you saw people walking on the street. The highway leading from, let's say, Warmer and North End, or going down, say, Russell Road and Warmer Road to North End wasn't as busy.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of people, as I say, walking the streets.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can remember seeing that placard, a picture of a placard in the Herald. Will the last person out please flick the dolphins
So flick the lights
the
off.
dolphins, or switch the lights off.
Yes, the dolphins. Yes.
And then this guy arrived in P. Kepler vessels,
Yeah.
and we started winning trophies. And
Kepler took. He was from Australia, ne?
Yes.
He was from Australia, and he took EP cricket from here to there.
yes, and the whole, you could say, the complexion of the city changed.
The mood.
The mood. Thank you. That's a better word.
Yeah.
The economic scenario or situation hadn't changed.
Yeah.
So I agree with what you're saying. I mean, if you get something going here
Yeah.
and create that positivity, And Gavin is certainly a great marketing guy, and
Yeah.
he would be ideal, but you've got to get rid of this corruption and all the other cut that goes on.
Well, it's like you say, if the centenary coming up for Warmer Wales and various clubs. I mean, there's even the soccer's great. The thing that sport helps so much to bring people together as well.
Yeah.
And it's like a thing that
I'll answer
creates-
that question.
Yes. I see the question come on there. How did you get your commentary started?
No, we were going to go to that now.
Yeah. But I guess we by getting it going, the sport is the way to get it going. Sport, music, art, culture, it all helps,
Correct.
you know.
Correct.
But yeah, let's get into that. Your
Well, I was
commentary,
going to say to him now, so you
Supersport.
retired from rugby, 2012, you coaching Warmer Wales, or you trying to get something going there?
Yeah.
Let's get on to the Supersport story. How did you get involved there?
I was recruited. I think I commentated with. There was another legend called Eben Olivier,
Yeah.
and who
Springbok
else?
Centre.
Yes,
Okay.
and I don't know who recommended me, and but I was called in and started in English.
When you say called in, I beg your pardon. When you say called in,
You just out of the blue, you just got this message. You weren't
you must
looking.
remember when you are a sports person, when you some other things work well for you.
Yes.
When you're a sports person. I was called in. Somebody recommended me from the guys that I played with and I played against. Recommended me to do commentary,
Okay.
and I was called in. I do it in English. I did in English, but
Okay.
and in one of the workshops, one of the Supersport workshops, I suggested that there is a constituency that is missing here.
Yes.
There's African speaking
Because of
people,
language.
Yeah.
there's English speaking people.
Yeah.
correct.
And I said, I'm coming from the Eastern Cape. Rugby people are mad about rugby there.
Yeah.
And maybe they didn't take me serious that time.
Yeah.
You know, and it was something. But 7 years down the line, I think it was British and Irish came down here. It was 2009,
Yeah.
and I was called again. People are looking for me, and ask, hey, what you suggested 7 years ago,
Yes.
it's coming into our mind that you know,
Okay.
this is doable.
So you made the original suggestion in 2002.
Two, yes.
Sure. And 7 years went by.
Yes, and
Yeah.
and unfortunately, I joined a guy called Kawunda Dunjami. He's so restless. He just passed on during COVID at the age of 38. My co-commentator. Fortunately, when Peter de Villiers was a coach and Chiki was a president, I met him here because he was playing for the Southern Spears, and we met, we chat, and I hooked up with him here, and so we made a team, and we took everything. We took everything by storm. We immediately we got into a freeway.
Yeah.
And we made a lot of noise about Xhosa commentary,
Yeah.
and everybody's mad about Xhosa
Well, I tell
commentary.
you what, I mean, a lot of times I've switched over just to, my class is dodgy. It's not, I'm not fluent at class, but it doesn't matter.
It's a serious
the
insult.
vibe.
It's a serious insult, yes, for you two guys. So you don't understand Xhosa. You Mlilo too.
Umlilo, Gamalako Umlilo nickname.
No, not Ilako. Lam.
Lam,
You are
lam.
referring to you now. Lam.
Lam.
You say Lako to me.
Okay. Chom Yako, Chom Lam.
Yako, you say.
Gamalako Umlilo.
Yeah.
No, ndifunda
Fire.
base-university but andikwazi uthetha right and ndiyakwazi uthetha watch it slowly. Slowly.
For every advantage, there's a disadvantage.
Yeah.
For every disadvantage, there's an advantage. During our time, we didn't want anything to do with Africans.
Yeah.
During our time.
Sure.
Yeah.
However, it was forced on our throats to speak it. And that's why I can buy a mark like myself in Afrikaans eat.
Yeah.
No, listen, I'm fascinated by the story. So 7 years went by after you made the initial suggestion, before they actually called you back again and said, you know what, there's some merit here.
Yeah.
So you started the Xhosa commentary. on the Lions tour in 2009.
Yes, remember the Lions were playing a SA invitation here. That was 16th of June, 2009.
That's quite correct.
Yeah.
I remember that game
Yeah,
well.
so started that day, and then the rest
Never
is
looked
history.
back.
Okay.
And then now you've got the program Paka.
Yes, how Paka came about. It was Vula first because we were off the view. We were opening up things for Xhosa commentary.
Yeah.
But for strange reasons, it was taken off the streets because there was budget constraints.
Yeah.
And so when we came back, I think we were off for a year, and we came back the following year. So we said, no, we can't call ourselves Paka anymore. People know us. We can't call ourselves
Vula.
Yeah.
People know us already, so we called ourselves Paka. Paka means dishing.
Yeah.
Dish, rugby information.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how Paka came about?
Yeah.
My co-commentator Kaunda came to me, confronted me the other day. He said, Jack. And I, yes.
Sir Jack.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why are you not telling me? I asked him, what? That you were a legend in your days. No, you didn't know that. He said, no, whenever I go, people ask me questions, do I know who you are? I said, no, come on, man. Let's have a show that is going to speak, they're going to speak about the untold stories.
Yes.
And that's how Paka came about. We had to pick up schools that were dominant about rugby then.
Yeah.
Legends that were rugby then, heroes. That's how Paka came about.
Okay.
And tell me now, this journey of yours, you've met and rubbed shoulders and met many of the great players in the world, in the rugby world.
Of course, I did. I did meet a lot of guys. It's nice. Sport always gives you that opportunity of meeting guys, making friends with guys, and I had an opportunity of meeting the likes of rubbing shoulders with Kevin, for an example, and he never knew that he was one of my likings. And I used to dare him too. I used to dare him and say, listen, you never made a Springbok. You never made a Springbok jersey because to me it was my complexion, to you it was your tongue. Because he was an English guy. You know, and I know those days.
With long hair.
Yeah, with kind of long hair. He used to.
What is the SA Rugby Union Technical Transformation Committee?
I was involved in that.
Yes.
I was involved in that.
For
committee.
transformation?
Yes.
Okay.
I was fortunate. I was in that committee, the committee that selected Jake White to be a coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I can say that certainly out of all the sports, all the major sports, I mean, obviously soccer's another story as well. It's always been very integrated, but rugby compared to cricket, let's say, has done a lot better at the integration. Is there? Would you? What is the strategy? What do they do to actually do that? If you're on the committee, I mean, what are they? Up to?
You must remember. Rugby has 15 guys in the field of play.
Yeah.
So it means you've got 15 brains in the field of play. And if you have played the game, or if you have channeled your energies towards rugby, and rugby is the only sport, I think, not because I'm biased towards rugby, only sport that I think requires and provides you with lots of skills.
Yeah. Okay.
Because unlike cricket, you can stand and fold your arms. That's what
Bad ball field.
in rugby.
He might argue that there's more to cricket than bad bowling and fielding.
So in rugby, there's no time of folding your arms in a rugby field. You must be focused. That's what rugby is. It's rugby. I take it rugby is a lifestyle.
Okay.
With skills that you've learned from rugby, you can take it to your own personal life and employ those skills, and you can be something in life. That's what I believe in, because in rugby you must have eyes, you must use your eyes in rugby, you must use your hands, you must use your feet,
Yeah.
You must think. You can use your force as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
You see, so those skills you can apply them at an appropriate time, and that's why I love rugby.
It's a bit of everything.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. And now, just moving forward, Saturday or Sunday, you commentating?
This Saturday coming, yes. I'll be commentating a game of Stormers versus La Rochelle.
In France?
No.
Oh, they're back in Cape Town.
In Cape Town, in the DHL Stadium.
Well, I'm certainly going to make a point of listening.
Oh, well.
okay.
I'm going to
You must sharpen up your closer.
The funny thing is, I'm very friendly with Greg Hayes, the man who found Makaya and Tini.
Wow.
Same man.
Wow.
He's very fluent in Xhosa. He's like you. So through him and a lot of fishing trips in the Transkei and working or mixing with the Transkei, I can understand it. I can speak it a little bit, but I basically understand.
Nobody can gossip about you.
Well, they do.
And they don't know that you can be able to
To
No,
understand.
100%. No, that. Good point. Good point. You know what
but I
they
think,
gossip about you, though.
It's so true that speaking the language, it opens up a whole lot of. When you speak to somebody in the home language, it just opens. There's a whole new channel.
It's a
whole new channel.
Language is key to interpersonal skills.
Yeah.
You know,
100%. And
if was it not for apartheid to have opened up, people could have easily communicated with each other,
Yeah.
related to each
Yes.
other,
Yeah.
and make peace with each other,
Yeah.
coexist simultaneously. You know,
Yeah.
and yes, apartheid did a lot of damage
Yeah.
in lot of forms, but
It
it's
certainly
nothing-
did. I have one question for you, though. If you go back to readmission or from readmission, a lot of development programs were formed, academies were formed. Cricket has not got it right. And as you said earlier, yes, I'm a cricketer, albeit an average cricketer. But that's my background. They haven't won a trophy. I think the only trophy they ever won was in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia in 2003. They've never won a major trophy, yet rugby have won 3 World Cups. They've got an incredible machine of black and coloured players being churned out at all times. So what have they done differently, and not only to cricket, to other sports, in your opinion?
In my opinion, as I've said, different. There's an idiomatic expression in English that says 2 heads are better than one.
Yeah.
You know. Now you remember in rugby, there's another one, 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 and remember we come from different cultural backgrounds.
Yes.
Now, Africans came with a different culture. Coloureds come with a different culture. Whites come with a different. And in rugby, if things don't go right,
Yeah.
you can hear almost all the coaches and stuff. Jenmut, this. You see that aggression.
Sort of, Mut.
Yeah, yeah. You can hear the expression in a rugby change room.
Yeah.
Yeah, those fuck that, and to rugby people, and to rugby players, that's another insult. It's an injection.
That's the language.
Yeah, that's a language that you understand. You get fired up. Yeah. You go and change things. You can see a team playing bad in the first half, but for strange reasons, they come back from the changing room. They change things around because they've been poked, to change the situation.
With a hot poker.
Yes, something like that. So I think.
Great answer.
So I think why rugby is doing it. Like for an example, if you listen to rugby's to Rassi's clips whenever it's halftime, he says, "You guys, you must fuck it. The sentence, the word in a sentence, you must fuck it." To rugby, because one of the attributes in rugby, it's aggression.
Correct. Physicality.
Yeah. So if you don't have that element of aggression in rugby, go and sing like this man.
Yeah. Easier like that for me.
Gavin Kelly, if you're still watching, you were right. This is a character.
Yeah. I see Barbara Manner's on board as well. She's our soccer star, of course, with Apple Manor. It's such a much needed chat, she says. Well said, and thank you.
During our time, rugby was a family thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much.
During our time.
Yeah.
During our time, as I've said, it was a family thing. Even brother-in-laws, uncles, even neighbors. If Woma Waves is playing,
Yeah. Yeah.
if Woma Waves is playing, Woma is empty.
Yeah.
Particularly when Woma Waves is playing against Wallabies, it was a derby game.
Okay, big one.
Big one. It's big time.
Because they split off.
Wallabies, you're talking about Wallabies versus Wales.
Yeah.
You're all in the same, from the same
Yeah,
country.
from that same small team.
And it wasn't anything like Man United, Liverpool, where like so stabbing each other.
Something close to that. Something close to that. Those days.
I mean, imagine having two rugby sides, and in those days, am I right in saying Warmer Township wasn't that big?
No, it wasn't. It
You
wasn't.
got two
But it's,
teams
you know
in
what
the township.
a sport is for me. It's like
But what is
peaceful battle.
what Gino, for for lack of better words,
Yeah.
that will be Saturday.
Yeah,
Sunday the guys
buddies.
the buddies.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I loved about
Yeah,
rugby.
lovely.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the essence of sport.
And it's so often played out in I was just watching the latest Springbok games. I mean, I saw it's a bit always like in the guys' faces, but then afterwards there they are having beers. I love that, you know.
Rugby is an aggressive sport.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
rugby is for gentlemen.
Yeah.
It's gentlemen.
100% right.
Because you would not understand. You've never seen a rugby player confronting a ref in aggressive form. If he comes to a referee, he comes in a very respectful manner
Correct.
to ask the ref about the decision. Unlike soccer, they come in as a group. In some instances, they murder it. In some instances, they do.
They can.
Yes, but you don't find that in rugby. A referee uses his whistle to stop anything that is happening. He doesn't go and say, "Gentlemen," and rugby guys, when they hear the whistle blows, they know that it's time to cool off.
Yeah.
Cool off.
No,
Cool off.
listen, you make a very valid point. Rugby today, and I mean, just look at rugby here.
Yeah.
And my rugby journey started watching guys at the grey school.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a rough game played by gentlemen, you're quite right.
Yeah. Yeah. It is.
After the game, they're all mates.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful to see. It really is lovely to see.
And even in posture, with their attire, the rugby guys are very neat,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
well
right.
dressed.
Yeah.
Very much.
Otherwise, people think they're hooligans.
No.
I'm happy to
Rugby,
meet you, my man.
rugby people, they make sure that,
Yeah.
they make sure that they must be, because that's why you see rugby guys playing with neat shots, that are nicely placed,
Yeah.
tucked, going to the rugby place. If you want to roll your sleeve, you roll your sleeve. You don't see this thing hang hard in rugby.
Yeah.
No, you don't see that.
Well, it depends on the fashion of the guys these days.
Rugby, no. Even to date, you don't see in the rugby. From the
that's
rugby,
smart.
you don't
Yeah,
see
You know,
that.
I
Mackie,
do see
even
that.
after the game or after the game, the guys are all dressed in chinos, their shoes are polished, they've got a brown shirt on, and a tie and a jacket.
No,
It's lovely to see.
I'm sorry, I'm biased towards rugby because I've learned a lot of things from rugby.
Yeah.
I am who I am today because rugby added to the discipline that I got home.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's why in rugby you said training starts at 7:30.
Yes.
Should be there before 7. You said I must be here at the studio what time?
6:45. You were here before that.
I was here before that.
Correct.
Yeah.
And only luckily I happened to look at my phone and Mackie had sent me a message. Someone
Yeah, I know. We were chatting
And
inside.
one thing that I respect about rugby, it's neatness. It's time factor to be punctual.
Yeah.
Talk about rugby and to know when and what to do where.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Your time to do whatever you need to do or plan.
You need to program yourself.
Yeah.
That's what rugby told
Yeah.
me, and that's why I'm a guy who likes to respect. Anybody who doesn't respect time
Yeah.
messes me around.
Sure.
It was lovely.
Because life is time.
Yeah, for sure.
Time is money.
Sure. Absolutely.
Time is money.
Yeah, it is.
Time is life.
Yeah.
Correct.
Life is time.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you've missed time, you've missed something in
Yeah.
your life.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
And if you think you are going to chase,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it means you are looking for trouble.
Yeah.
Mackie, just going back to your commentating career. Sorry.
No problem.
Any bloopers on your part?
Things that went wrong. I love to hear stories about things that went wrong.
My goodness.
Or the biggest blooper? Clearly by your laughter there must be a few, but the biggest blooper.
I think it was against Wallabies.
Yeah.
It's a game. When was it? Was it 1984?
Yo. Early days.
And?
And there are lots, but one comes to mind. Playing with Wallabies.
Yeah.
And this, he knows this counts. This. So came a ball, I placed the ball down. And unfortunately the ball rolls towards my nose. And the guy came and kicked the ball. And he kicked my nose. That's why you see this scar.
Yeah.
And this piece, I had a sharper nose like an Englishman. No, I don't have a sharp nose. No, I don't have it. So this part came this way.
Yo.
And the ref stopped the game, and no, I can't continue playing. I must go to the hospital. So as I was going out the tunnel, going to the gate, going through the tunnel of the stadium, Itenkoko Stadium, I heard my sister's voice yelling,
Oh shit.
"Fuck! Fuck! You're not going to the hospital. You're not going anywhere. Go and die. You said you love rugby." Once he was, I could hear those things, and I jumped. Yeah, I jumped first. I jumped back I jumped back the fence. I went to play, and I finished it. And remember, the Wallabies was leading us. I think they were leading us 3-0. They came down. So, and I guess what I scored the winning try. The score was 4-3.
So your sister was right.
You had bandage around your head?
No, it was not banned. It wasn't. I was running like. Because this piece of meat was always hanging here.
Suck. Okay, that's crazy. But that's your sister for you. She's tough.
She's very tough.
Anthony, thanks for the great chat. Makaya, are you related to my friend Theo Asematle? Jack, there's more Jacks there.
No, I told no.
So that's a Jack, sir.
Well, I need to explain this.
Yeah.
I need to explain this. My original surname is not Jack.
Oh.
My original surname is Ngamini.
Okay.
Ngamini. Ngqamna. How I got to be a Jack.
Yeah.
Originally, as I hear the stories, were from Fort Beaufort.
Okay.
So during those times, guys would migrate to mines in Joburg.
Yeah.
For greener pastures.
Yeah.
And my great-grandfather went to the mines.
Okay.
Was a very handsome oak, I'm told. Tall, handsome,
Uh-huh.
light in complexion.
So for mana problems.
So when he arrived in Joburg, going down to, looking at the situation around him, he said, "Fuck, I can't go underneath the ground."
Yeah.
Checked, al dies mogus moet onder de grond is. Ek is nie 'n mogu nie.
Yeah.
And remember those days, some certain laws favored the so-called colors.
Correct.
So what he did, he used his grandfather's middle name, Jack.
Okay.
So he changed Ngamini to Jack.
Okay.
So he got a job of being a messenger.
Yeah. She was
And being a messenger those days was one of the top jobs.
Yeah, okay.
So he remained there as a Jack. He didn't go back to Fort Beaufort.
Yeah.
When he came back, he came
back as a
to
Jack.
PE, and that's how the Jack
Jacks,
came.
yeah. Okay.
I would just like to actually say something here. Prior to the show, you wonder now, I'm essentially not a rugby man.
Yeah.
Although there's rugby in our family. With respect, you're not a rugby man.
No,
You wonder now, how are you going to cover an hour with a rugby man?
Yeah.
As the conversation goes on, we could sit here and talk shit until 11 o'clock.
No, till the other day.
Correct.
No, Makaya, thank you so much, man. But I'm
You have
going to
some
do
questions for
before we go. We always do a little section called the getting to know you section. Just we're going to do 2 or 3 questions. I think we've got to do a couple of these.
No,
and
a few more than
they
two,
probe
I'm sure.
into your personality to see see how you are there. So let's do this.
Getting to know you, getting to know all about you.
Okay, so what is something that people would be surprised to learn about you?
People will be surprised to learn about me
Yeah.
that I preach.
You're a preacher?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, is it?
done.
Methodist?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know we were in the. I didn't know we were in the presence of a Domini.
If I can stand,
Fondisi.
if I can stand and preach, you can be my followers 2 minutes after that.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Are you gonna, oh, maybe better not start now. I'm gonna I'll end up giving up my job. How's your perspective on the world changed from when you were younger?
My perspective is, I think, now we hear about people talking about COP 21, 22, COP 23,
COP,
25, and with all the things that are happening around the globe, I think God is angry.
Yeah, sure.
I think God is, because during our time, there were few people that were educated, but disciplined, and things were moving. To date, we've got a lot of professors, intellectual doctors, but things are not gelling up. And we've got more problems, yet we've got educated people. We've got moneyed people. And I think God is angry, and God is trying to say to people that they must go back to Him, because He's the creator of the universe.
Correct.
Until we submit to that, I think the world will change. And not trying to use technicalities. Because if you are clever because God gave you that cleverness. You are not clever by default. God privileged you with the intelligence.
Yeah. Okay, and
Well said.
let's see. I've got. I think two more. I think we're two more. The most physically painful thing that you've ever had to endure.
Nose.
Yeah, no, I don't think that was so. Just
No. To me, I don't regard physical pain as a pain.
Yeah.
Because physical pain comes and go.
Yeah.
The pain that is sustainable to me, it's a psychological pain.
Yeah.
That's a what?
Psychological pain. So you're saying that when
That's
things go wrong.
that stains. Psychological pain stains.
Yeah.
Because whenever you stay, whether there are people around you,
Yeah.
if you are all by yourself, okay, that cassette rewinds again and then comes. Maybe you didn't know about my psychological pain. Maybe you'll make a story, and this story will touch on the pain that I have.
Yeah.
Or if I read the pain, a story about exactly what happened to me.
Yeah.
You know. So
Well, there's a lot of. There's been a lot of. It's coming out now, and people are more expressive with it, which is good. They're bringing out depression, anxieties. These things are all coming out much more now. You know.
And those inner are dangerous, are too dangerous.
Yeah.
So to me, physical pain, it's
Not a problem.
No, I've enjoyed them.
You're a rugby player.
Yeah, I've enjoyed them.
All right. The craziest thing that you've ever done in the name of love. You married?
In the name.
I'm married. I'm close to 40 years married now.
Close to 40 years married.
I'm 2 years close to 40 married.
Okay. So what's the craziest or stupidest thing you've ever done for love?
The most stupid thing I did for love was to make a fool out of my wife.
Oh.
Yeah, because I two-timed her one night. And going to my younger brother's shack with this woman, and my younger brother.
Yeah, in Warmer.
Yeah, my younger brother went to tell my wife that I was not
Yeah, well, at least you're open and honest about it, you know.
No, I apologize for
Yes.
that. One thing, I'm very arrogant in all forms. I'm arrogant to do wrong things.
Yeah.
I'm arrogant to do right things.
Well, remember what Gavin said before the show. You can sometimes be arrogant.
Yeah. So I was brave enough to go and apologize to my wife.
Well done.
Well, you know what, Makaya, and I've certainly realized this talking to you now over this, I don't know, hour and a half we've been speaking, that you are a straight talker, and obviously your integrity is intact.
Of course.
Yes, and
That's
I
what
think-
I look after it.
That is, and
And
you know, you
character.
can do something wrong, but you admit it, you come back and you apologize and you make right.
Yeah. Because why would you apologize for doing wrong? Why would you apologize? As jy hierso is, as jy kak voor ons is.
Aanvang.
Waarvoor gaan jy my 'n rede gee om hier te kak? You don't. You know. Both of us, you can't kak. There's a kak camera, a kak is. Why didn't you go to the kak?
Yeah, why you kak here?
So you kak here. You want to give reasons why you kacking here.
Yeah.
And the only thing that you should be doing is to say sorry. Clean up and say sorry. That's all.
Makaya, thank you so much. It's
That's my pleasure, me boy.
absolute pleasure being with you tonight. What an interesting guy. And thank you for what you've done and what you're doing, and best of luck with your commentating and your future business and your fast tourship.
Thank you to Gavin. Thanks, Gav.
Gavin Carly, thank you. And thank you to Fires for coming in the studio as well. And then other thank yous, obviously our sponsors, to Spa, Sovereign and Fitch and Leeds, thank you.
And next time I go to Spa, they mustn't say they don't sponsor.
No, they're in. Thank you guys, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Anytime.
Fantastic.
Relax, sit down. Coming out of PE town. Want a drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver, get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino shot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Get to